Hey everybody, this is Stevie J from AngryMarks.com, but if you've been watching these YouTube vlogs, then you already know that. I kind of miss Alberto Del Rio using that catchphrase, but I understand he overused it and burned it out, so hey, life goes on, he had to do something else. And right now, he's doing a babyface turn, so we're going to be seeing more about that in the SmackDown spoilers, which will be posted later on tonight on AngryMarks.com, but right now, wanted to address something from last night's AMP Raw reaction, and we're all angry marks, and I understand Kevin was a little angry about The Rock when he did that show, but the great thing about this side is we all have different opinions and we can agree to disagree. So, as I understand it, here are Kevin's three objections to The Rock being back, and in rebuttal, here are the reasons that I think, with respect and admiration to Kev because he's awesome, that he's wrong. His first point was that The Rock is not back full time. He's not committed to wrestling anymore. He's a Hollywood guy. And his second point was The Rock is just doing it to stroke his own ego. And his third point was every minute of time they invest in The Rock is a minute of time that could have gone to somebody like Seth Rollins or Brad Maddox or take your pick. So I'm going to address those 3 points in order. The first is that he says The Rock isn't committed to being back in wrestling full time, and yet if you look at the schedule of tapings, including tonight's SmackDown, he's on virtually every one for the next 2 months. It's kind of hard to say he's not committed to wrestling when he's doing every Raw and every SmackDown taping for the foreseeable future, and we'll probably do most of the ones in March too, leading up to WrestleMania, so I think he's in it to win it. And the second is that he's doing this to stroke his own ego and his importance and feel like he's the man again. Well, I don't really think The Rock has a problem with his ego, and I don't think he could be any more important than the most successful box office to dollars spent earner of the last year, according to Forbes magazine, which means even if they pay him $10 million to be in a movie, he makes them more on that movie than they paid him. As compared to any other Hollywood star, The Rock is the man. So I don't think he needs his ego stroked by wrestling. I think he's doing pretty well in that department. And his third and final point was that every minute they spend on a guy like The Rock, they're not spending it on somebody like The Shield or Brad Maddox. Well, I'm not really worried about that right now because in the last month and a half, it seems to me they've really gotten on the ball of pushing young guys and bringing up new talent to the roster. I mean, they even brought up Biggie Langston to be involved in an angle with AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler and John Cena. And I didn't see Biggie Langston coming up to the roster for another 6 months to a year, certainly not before WrestleMania, so I was pleasantly caught by surprise by that, and quite frankly, I really like their youth initiative right now, and I think it's working out well for everybody involved because no, so far nobody's gotten buried. It's not been like a Spirit Squad thing where they get called up and then get humiliated on TV every week. And it's not like Nexus where they brought them in for a big angle and then at SummerSlam jobbed them all out. So I, I honestly don't think The Rock is taking any shine away from anybody else by being on TV. And in fact, I think everybody's going to make more money because attendance will be up, pay-per-view buy rates will be up, and people's paychecks will get larger because The Rock is there. That's why, with respect and admiration to Killer Kev, I completely disagree. I think The Rock being back is good for business, it's good for wrestling, and it's good for the people that he's there with. I'm Stevie J. That's my vlog for today.